Oh! Oh shit! Oh shit! Fuck yes! Fuck yes! Fuck yes! Yes! Oh! Fucking stop it, Morgana! He fucking knocked him out! Yeah, baby! Let's go! Ah! Yeah! And that was a live look of me Saturday night, if you missed it. But hello and welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. And, yeah, feels good this weekend, dude. It feels like a lot of time in between this past weekend. And now I strictly made it a point, dude, to do no YouTube stuff from Saturday night until now, dude. I needed a break after just all the stuff that I'd done last week. I worked really hard on the channel last week, and I just needed just a few days off, dude. D-Rose, let the people know how you've been the past few days, brother.
Things been good over this way as well. You know, we've been, just same old, just as far as work and everything. But just coming off a great weekend, and hey, I had another pretty decent bet weekend as well. So can't complain too much. Like I think I was telling you the other day, I've kind of came up big the last 2 weekends. So hopefully we could spin that into some more money this weekend. But some of the bets are a little bit hard to kind of call early on, but hey, our 5 a.m. card too. I mean, what are we doing, UFC? I know it's in Singapore, but sheesh, that's rough.
Yeah, dude, I've gotten hate 2 times already this week. One of which was saying, "Man, prelims are going to be hard to watch this week," and everyone from not the U.S. dude just flooded my DMs with like, "Hey man, you should try this. You should try this every weekend." Blah blah. It's like, all right, well, I'm not, so I'm not used to it. And then
I'm sorry, we're pampered. Okay, we're pampered with having the East Coast bias, especially in us. The West Coast. They're a few hours back, but we're always worried about having stuff on our time. But yeah, we're used to it.
And then the other thing was earlier I posted the opening odds for Sean O'Malley versus like Merab, and dude, people, I guess that's the new thing now. People counted him out when he fought Peter Yan, counted him out when he fought Aljo, and now people are on Merab heavy. They're gonna count out the Sugar Show versus Merab, dude, and I can't wait for it, dude. But before we get started too much into it, let's shout out the chat real quick. We got Lush in here first. 6 was way too early, but it's good to be back. Yeah, I think Silent 6 last night posted a like right when I published like the video or whatever you call it, scheduled like the video. Like he was like first one in here, live, good to go, and I replied to him, and they're both gone now. I just think because once it's like 12 hours or something like that, like they're not gonna stay in there. But shout out Lush for being in here, Austin in here. Indeed, Lush was missed without a doubt. We actually shouted Lush out last week. We got Derek Goofer in here. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome him back, Lush. That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys. 100% felt wrong not being here, but hey, brother, everyone needs a vacation here and there, Lush. So I hope you had a great time on vacation. You were able to relax, and I know you won some money while you were out there, brother. So congrats on that.
Hey,
the Sugar era, baby. Silent 6 in here. Silent 6, your comment disappeared, brother. I saw it last night though. I replied. What's cracking, Bob? How you doing, brother?
I always love the picture.
Yeah. Here we go. So that's what we all looked like last weekend. That reaction was perfect. That was a reaction all of us hardcore Sugar fans went through. The beautiful shot to the ground and pounding and screaming, "Got her till Aljo is dead," for being called. What a ride, indeed. I can say that's how I can say that's how I was hit.
That's how he was, punctuation works, but
brother,
it ain't for this audience, punctuation ain't for this audience,
Yeah.
Hey, we ain't about it. We can decipher it without it,
I was in here 22 hours early, indeed. So 2 hours after I scheduled the thing, it's a solid 6 popped up in here.
Hell yeah.
But we
Real
appreciate
OG.
it. We appreciate it either way. But D Rose, I guess with that being said, let's get into the show just a little bit. What to look forward to on today's show, real quick. We are going to recap headlines from this past weekend, and then we are going to go into some UFC fight news and fight announcements, things like that. And lastly, we will make our picks, predictions, and break down this upcoming weekend's card. Max Holloway versus Korean Zombie in Singapore. An early card, 5 a.m. East Coast time for the prelims and 8 a.m. for the main card. So we got an early one on our hands. Hardcore fan. Appreciate it.
Hey, your sound's kind of,
It's not good.
it was like, start rolling again.
All right. Well, it's to say now, you guys.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like cutting out.
Does anyone else hear, or is it just the Rose? We gotta let the chat know. All right, let's see if the chat says anything.
Okay.
Huh? I don't know. I don't see anything.
It could be me. I just want to make sure that if it's just me, it could be my headphones. But
I mean, to be honest, I've destroyed. Yeah, Matt's mic is messed up. Let me see if I can fix this.
yeah, it was almost kind of like it was like going in and out for a second, and then once you had started rolling, it was good. Then it kind of started cutting in and out again. But yeah, see if we can get this thing rolling here. The magician, Matt, the magician Anderson. Getting this thing cooked up. I think you're on mute, my brother.
All right. How am I sounding now? Better, or is it the exact same?
It sounds a little better, yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to let me know if it's if it's fixed or not.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. Just making sure. All right, so apologize for the delay getting started, y'all. But real quick, let's jump into the recap from this past weekend, D-Rose. Shit, dude. I mean, headlines from the Sugar Show, obviously. Snoozes Aljamain Sterling gets crowned and new. Dude, the walkout song couldn't have been more perfect for what he walked out to do. Showed up, proved what he said he was going to do, and then and new the Sugar era begins. The Rose, what's your thoughts, dude?
Yeah, just again, it was a spectacular performance, and one of the things that I did say, I did think that Aljamain was going to win. I thought that he was going to be able to kind of use his wrestling a little bit, but even kind of hearing Sean's comments after the fight saying that 6 weeks leading up into the fight, he kind of had a rib cartilage injury that kind of prevented him from really doing much grappling there the last 6 weeks of camp and getting prepared for the fight. And for him to basically go in there and say, if I get taken down, because he said he did not want to get locked in a body triangle with Aljamain Sterling, because he said he knew that would have probably crushed his ribs. And that would have been brutal for him. And he said that he knew that he was going to go in there. It was life or death. He knew he had to get knockout or bust. And he didn't care about losing the first round the way he did. And in the first round, it was, I know the judges scored it for Aljo, but it could have went either way. But Sean even said that he was content with losing rounds like that just to make sure that he got the knockout the way he did, and set the shot up perfectly. Just right on the money. And yeah, I do think that there's a very good chance that the way that he sets up his shots, he could be the champ for a little bit, because I do think maybe outside of Corey, I think Corey could potentially be the toughest matchup, because I think he's the most well-rounded out of all the guys up at the top. But Cheeto, Henry, Marab, I do think any of those guys, I would tend to favor Sean in any of those matchups coming up.
Yeah, same for me, but clearly I'm super biased. One that I'm maybe like, what are they going to do with Umar now, dude? Because that was That was kind of something that everyone wanted to see, and I'm not saying he'll be next or anything, but who does Umar fight next?
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting now that you kind of throw that out there. I mean, I did actually hear that. I remember Aljamain at one point in time had said he would be interested in fighting Umar, and to me, I mean, I know Aljamain said he's going to go out there and try to advocate for an immediate rematch. I mean, we can ask the guys in the chat, or we can ask yourself, but I don't know I don't know how many people are going to be interested in an Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley rematch. And I don't think too many people are going to be interested in that. So, man, I just I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
I can put a poll in the in the thing while we're live, or at least I'll try to.
Yeah,
see if it'll work.
yeah. And I was going to say one of the things that I didn't like, because I want to kind of spin this into who we think might be next for Sean, was Sean. I know he said leading into the fight that he wanted to call out Cheeto, but I think like during the his post fight, you could see Tim Welch go over there and kind of whisper something into his ear, and then Sean's kind of like, calling out Cheeto, but then he's like, not really. And it seemed like Sean O'Malley wasn't that sold on calling out Cheeto. And even after the fight, like he even went and said, like, hey, that fight was kind of boring. Cheetah's going to have to be a little more respectful. And he even went so far to say that he was going to call out, he might let Henry have the shot, which I think would be absolutely nuts. But I think that would be just absolutely nuts. But then you still got Merab kind of waiting there in the wings as well. So I think Sean O'Malley's done a good job as far as leaving his options open. But who do you think Sean actually ends up fighting? Who do you actually think he ends up fighting?
I think it ends up being Cheeto in December, dude. I just think like the UFC knows that's a great matchup. There's heat there. Yeah, it just kind of makes sense. But at the same time, if it was Merab, I wouldn't be too upset at that, because who deserves it the most? Merab for sure deserves it more than anyone else, because he just wouldn't fight his friend this entire time. So now that Aljamain's not the champion anymore, I guess it only makes sense that Merab gets the shot. But man, Dana has already said, like, you keep waiting around, you ain't going to get a shot. So I don't know. Is he going to be punished for not wanting to fight his friend? I guess we'll find out, man. Dude, I wouldn't mind maybe Umar versus Merab. Let's see what happens there, but I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and then yeah, as far as I know, you had mentioned Umar earlier. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot where I was at for a second in terms of who I thought he could potentially get matched up with, but maybe Aljamain. I think that could be a good matchup, because I don't think that Aljo is going to end up getting a rematch. So I do think maybe Aljamain. It seems like they want to try to get him up there in terms of like a high name matchup. Cheetah's coming off the win, so I couldn't see that. I mean, I could see someone like Pedro Munez accepting the fight, but I don't know how much that really does for Umar in terms of moving him up in the division. So it's just really tough as far as to say what's next for Umar.
All right, fair enough. Silent Six letting us that he finally gets to experience a card on a Saturday night, 6:30 prelims and 9:30 for the main. Crazy, dude. Do you guys think that rib injury was a perfect thing to happen to Sugar? Just focus on the counter shots, life and death mentality for not being taken down, brother. Who knows? But I mean,
to say if it's better, I don't necessarily say that it was better, but I think it gave him basically a more direct focus in terms of he knew what he had to do. And he said the whole week, hey, I do not want to get taken down by this dude. And, when I kept hearing Sean make those comments, I was like, man, he's just kind of bullshit and kind of leading on, just trying to put stuff in Aljo's mind. But no, he really felt that way, that he could not get taken down, because if he did, it was over for him, and he fought like that, and it played out perfect.
Yeah, man. D Rose, hope you guys are having a good night. Indeed, we are, brother. I see O'Malley prices went up big time. Super happy for you. I haven't checked it, to be honest. I I don't plan on selling anything that I have. You guys know I'm a huge fan, and I have a lot of cool stuff that I plan on holding on to for just a little bit. As with any Nurmagomedov, his next opponent is him not pulling out of a fight. His next opponent is him not pulling out of a fight. All right. If Sugar wants to fight in December, Cheeto is the only option and biggest fight in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I would say as well. the color blast is like $2,000 bid going right now. That's what's up. D Rose, I paid $1,200 for a car that's currently going for $2,000 right now. So if I was to sell it, that wouldn't be a bad profit, you know.
Hey, let him get a defense against Cheeto, and that thing will start racking up even more. So hey, maybe that thing could be a good investment. But I know you're not. I know you're not partnering with that thing. So
no, dude. Oh, no, it's just cool. But yeah, dude. So main event happened. We talked about what's next, the rib injury. Oh yeah, what do you think odds should be opening for Cheeto and then versus like Marab? Like I know, like I sent you the post earlier, but everyone was heavy in my DMs, like bro, like it should be higher, like bro, like Marab's gonna crush him. Personally, dude, I think Marab leads with his face more than Aljo does, and that's an even better matchup for Sean O'Malley to crack Marab, dude. And I will never get the aging Marlon Moraes crushing, molly-whopping Marlon Moraes round one out of my head in his like last fight in the UFC, dude. So that being said, dude, I think Sean O'Malley should be favored over Cheeto, probably minus 200, and over Marab, it should be maybe minus 150 O'Malley plus 125 Marab. But I saw the odds; it's like minus 200 Marab plus 170 for Sugar, and then him versus Cheeto is about right, I think.
Yeah, I would say, in terms of him versus Cheeto, I think Izzy going into his rematch with Alex Pereira, I think he was like minus 170, minus 180. I think at the closing line, I think he was hovering around there. So I could see Sean potentially hovering around there. I think, if people go back and look at the fight, I would always kind of pick on you about him getting leg kicked and saying that's his weakness and stuff like that. But no, I think you could see moments where, Cheeto just has his similar fight style. Now, I mean, Sean wasn't hurting Cheeto and was landing big bombs, but he was outlanding Cheeto significantly in the fight before the leg kick ended up happening and took his leg out. But I think you could see him minus 180 or so against Cheeto, and then on the turnaround on Marab. I just think that in the public's mind, I just think they're going to be heavy on Marab. I think about where it's at right now. I think not too far off. I could see basically the reverse for Marab. I could see Marab being about a minus 180, minus 170, minus 180 favorite. Sean hovering around plus 120, plus 130, kind of in that range. And then I think about the opposite for him versus Cheeto. I think he'd be about minus 170, 180 favorite against Cheeto.
If you could put the odds on Sean versus Marab, what would it be?
Yeah. I think it'd be about Marab. I think
so you
just in
have
terms
Sean
of
as the favorite, like as you.
I mean, me personally, I don't think Sean would be the favorite, but I think that he would end up. I bet if he goes in as the underdog, I would definitely put straight money on him. That's for sure. I just in terms of, and I guess I'm thinking from a gambler's perspective because I'm thinking of how they're going to set the line. I mean, I think myself. I mean, Marab could be a minus 150 or so, and that could put Sean at plus 125. Maybe somewhere within that range. I do think that people would think that pace and cardio and wrestling. I think people just have so much recency bias with how Marab won his last fight against Jan. So I think that people are like, well, he was able to walk through that damage, and he was able to walk through Marlon and take that damage. So he could walk through anybody. I think they're going to have that recency bias with Marab going into it. So I do think Marab would be, in terms of the betting lines, the betting favorite.
Fair enough. I get it. I just can't wait to make some more money when they fight, dude. Co-main event was Magnum Zhang Weili. Dude, outclassing Amanda Lemos to no end, dude. I think like the total strikes like at the end was like 300 something to like 28 or 29, maybe low 30s, dude. She did not stand a chance, dude. Got dropped heavy in the fifth, almost got finished. I guess she had some early moments with chokes that could have worked against someone that had no idea what they were doing on the ground, but didn't work. What's your takeaways from Amanda Lemos?
Yeah, I was definitely rooting for Amanda Lemos, of course, but yeah, seeing them getting mollywopped, just in terms of the takedowns, that was something that we kind of was looking forward to in terms of Zhong's evolution in her game. We knew that was a weakness in Lemos's game, and she went for that Darce a couple of times and missed it. And but after that, it was just that ground and pound to no end. And Lemos having the heart of a lion, just to be able to survive like that. But in the end, Weili was just too strong for her. But I did want to ask you in terms of spinning it forward for Weili as well, because she had
there's one name, brother.
Hey, just go ahead and say. I won't even tee it up. Who do you think's next?
I think they have left China versus China behind. That ain't happening. UFC's all in on Tatiana Suarez, dude. It only makes sense. They're gonna make that matchup. What do you think?
Man, because I think even Weili had mentioned after the fight, she had kind of said that she would be interested in the Tatiana Suarez fight. So I do think that would be an interesting fight. I'm really surprised that they're going to, if they end up passing up Yan Xiaonan, because didn't Yan Xiaonan beat Jessica Andrade before Tatiana Suarez, and then... Yep. Yan Xiaonan is higher ranked than Suarez, but then Suarez would then leapfrog her. Does it make sense? You get where I'm coming from when I say like it just doesn't make sense for her to just parachute in and get the title shot. I do know, as far as the marketing wise, I do understand them being behind Suarez, but man, I would have just thought that that China versus China fight. That's what they've been kind of going off of. And I do think in terms of the most credible next person, I do think Yan Xiaonan should be the next challenger. And I think it could be potentially a good fight because Yan Xiaonan has worked on her takedown defense a lot. But I do think Weili would be the big favorite in there as well versus Tatiana Suarez. I don't know if she would be that big of a favorite against Suarez. That's if she would even be the favorite. So it would be both fights would be interesting, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Weili would ragdoll Yan Xiaonan though, dude. I just think there's like the wrestling is just two different levels apart. I almost ended the broadcast by dropping my mouse. It was like, end broadcast? I'm like, no, I don't want to end the broadcast. Let me put that down. I think Weili would probably ragdoll Yan Xiaonan. It would kind of look like the Amanda Lemos fight for the most part if she didn't get finished. But yeah, just Weili looking like an absolute beast. And how can you not love Weili, dude? Like every time she like speaks English, dude, I can't help with it. Just like I like smile so good. She's like, Boston. Like,
yeah.
I can't.
Let me hear it.
I cannot my name is Zhang Weili. Remember me? Like, dude, I love it. It
makes me happy. Like it makes me happy hearing her like speak English. Like I get this warm fuzzy feeling, especially when she said like, "My name's Zhang Weili. Remember me?" Like I was like, "Oh man!" Like it just made me feel good.
Yeah, indeed, man. But I guess other takeaways from that card was Mario Bautista defeating Damon Blackshear, which also does win me this pick champ of the week. So if you missed the live stream Saturday night and new pick champ this week, thank goodness. I let D Rose have it last week and it wasn't cool. So I got it back this week. And I did start off to 0-2 on the night though, so I was kind of worried, but I cleaned up with the remaining. Anything else from the pay-per-view that you want to talk about, or you want to jump into some fight news and talk about this weekend's 12 fights at 5 a.m., dude?
No, man. I think we pretty much hit everything that we wanted to hit on.
All right. So with that being said, I'm excited for next pay-per-view too, because that one is in Australia, dude, and that one's a banger of a card as well. And but before we do that.
Banger is I love the main event, but the card overall,
I think there's some sleeper fights on there, man, that a lot of people are forgetting about. But hey,
I mean, the Volkov and Ty fight's an awesome fight. I mean, hey, if there's a lot of 3-round fights, I mean, hey, you know how I am in terms of, cards, pay-per-views not having a whole bunch of 5-round fights. So, hey, I'm all down for that because I think there's a chance the main event could be.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into our fight news and announcements. D-Rose, you got to let me know if anything pops up on the chat because I will. I'm in here. So we got up first. We got Raul Rosas Jr. returning against Terrence Mitchell. Wow, that's the September 16th card. I will be there. Thoughts on that?
Who is that? That Rosas is fighting? Terrence Mitchell. That's what. Is he a Contender Series guy?
I think maybe last season, possibly.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds familiar. Rosas, man, getting a quicker turnaround than I would have assumed. But yeah, we'll be interested to see kind of how he bounces back off that loss.
Yeah. All right. Up next, dude, we got the Monkey King, Jordan Levitt, going to be taking on Chase Hooper, November 18th. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know why. I just thought about you when I seen this fight. I was like, man, 2 guys that Matt has like not been a hardcore fan of, but just kind of like, hey, you're always kind of sneaky. Like, I think you're more of a Chase Hooper fan, but you're always kind of sneaky. Like, hey, Jordan Levitt's not bad.
Because people hate on him just because he shakes his ass, but dude, he's a pretty good fighter.
yeah. I was like, man, this might be a hard one for him to root for.
That'll be an interesting one, dude. Dude, Chase Hooper's looked not bad. Up at 155, dude. He looked like he put on some mass. Looks good. Here's a good one, dude. Cynthia Calvillo is out, of course. Yasmin Lucindo.
She's still fighting. Like, what are we doing?
Down at 115 too.
I mean, she needs to fight at 115. She cannot fight anybody at 125, dude. She's going to get crushed.
But anyway, Cynthia Calvillo is out, and Yasmin Lucindo steps in to face Elise Reed after she just now fought a few weeks ago, right? At a 125 weight.
Yasmin Lucindo? Was it 120? Was it 120 catch weight?
That's what this one is. It's a 120 weight on September 16th. So the fight.
Shit! So yeah, just a couple of weeks. There you go. Yeah. You can see your girl there. So
yeah, dude. That should be I'm really excited for. We'll talk about it in a few minutes.
Hey, but that should be a banger. Yeah, Lucinda's been crushing chicks. So
I got Yasmin Lucindo via ground and pound or submission because Elise Reed's takedown defense is ass. All right. Here's a good one, dude. Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Cesar Almeida. Kind of like 2 of the same dudes a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, but it is weird. It like Christian Leroy Duncan's head is like the top of his head is round. His hair looks like a yarmulke on top of his head. It looks it looks weird the way it like kind of sits up. His head almost looks like the top of like a round building or something like that. Like like a yarmulke or something. It's crazy.
All right, we got Daniel Pineda going to be taking on Hussein Askabov. That's October 7th. Do you care about that one? And dude, Daniel Pineda just making a late career surge, yeah?
I think he's getting as many fights as he can to get paid because I think he missed a couple. He missed some time. I think he had some type of he popped for something due to obtain a supplement. So I think he missed a lot of time. I think he's just trying to grind out enough fights. Hey man, I'm trying to get paid right now. So, and that fight that he had with Caceres last time, even though he lost, that fight was a banger. So he normally puts on a good fight, win or lose.
Yeah, and real quick, I'm actually glad Derek brought this up, D Rose, because I sent you the Twitter post earlier of MVP saying that he wanted someone in the top 5 of the UFC, and Shavkat replying, "How about number 6?" So, real quick, what's your thoughts on Shavkat wanting to welcome MVP to the UFC?
I mean, I think that would be. I mean, that would be a tough fight for MVP. I mean, let's just say that. I mean, I don't know if MVP. He worked on his takedown defense a little bit. I mean, I think in his fight against Logan Storley that he had in Bellator. I mean, I think he did okay. And some people, it was the interim title fight that he had in Bellator, and there were some people who thought he won. I think it came down to a split decision. But and there were a lot of people who did think that he won, but I just think that Shavkat would just be a different animal. And I think that Michael Venom Page, he's 36 years old. I think he would more want like the big kind of stylistic type matchup, maybe fun fights if he comes to the UFC. I'm just not all convinced that he's going to come to the UFC because to me, and I've watched MVP and Bellator for a long time. People give him a lot of hate because they're like, "Oh, he fights nothing but cans or whatever." But I mean, it's not like Bellator's really got anybody anyway to begin with. I mean, they got good elite guys like Patchy Mix and guys like that, but in terms of their whole weight class, they just don't have the depth of the weight class like the UFC does. But yeah, I don't see that realistically being a fight that would happen between Shavkat and MVP.
Yeah. We don't know if it's 100% happening yet, but I think it's kind of rumored to be. But I'm kind of like you. He's a little bit older now, dude. So it's like they kind of have to give him like the Michael Chandler treatment for him into the deep end. If that's what he wants, unless he just wants fun fights. And in that case, give me MVP versus Vicente Luque, dude. I like that fight. I think it'd be a banger of a fight.
Yeah, absolute banger. Vicente Luque, he's probably gonna be number 9, maybe after his last fight, number 9, number 8, somewhere in that range. I think that would be a good stylistic matchup, and I think that that would be an absolute banger.
All right. Up next, the Rose, we got Kung Ho Kang going to be taking on John Castaneda. You care about that one at all?
Man, John Castaneda looks like his ribs are like about to come out of like his stomach. It looks weird.
All right. This one, dude, Kevin Holland versus Jack Della Maddalena, added to UFC September 16th, baby. Yes, dude. I get to go see Kevin Holland fight live. What's your thoughts on that being announced, brother?
Man, I didn't want that. I don't know. I guess I just wanted Kevin Holland to get. I guess I wanted him to have his chance to climb up the ranks, but he just always there to do the UFC a solid. It seems like, but it will be a banger of a fight, and we love JDM, love Kevin Holland. So it will be a banger of a fight, but these are the two favorites, and sometimes that I'm excited to watch. I for some reason I'm not as excited to watch these two fight, but I know they're going to deliver when the fight happens, so I'll be excited afterwards.
Yeah, man. I'm a huge fan of both fighters. Dude, if Kevin Holland is smart, dude, he will go for the submission, dude. Because Jack Della, for the most part, has been a pretty much strict boxer, and Basil Hafez took him down, dude, a few times, dude. Kevin Holland's going to be much bigger, and he's got long arms. He should be able to wrap up some form of Doris Anaconda, thing like that. Like he just not choked out Michael Chiesa with, if he's smart. Now, he might fight like he did in the Wonder Boy fight. In that case, he could get knocked out, dude. Yeah. I'm going to be interested in it, though. So let's move on up just a little bit, get past the results from this past weekend. And then we got right here, we got a good fight, dude. Elizeu Zaleski Dos Santos going to be taking on Renat Fakhretdinov, dude. Thoughts on that? Old ass Dos Santos fighting Renat Fakhretdinov.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say he's been around for a little bit now, and Renat, just seeing him put away Kevin Lee the way he did is just, he's up next. He's one of those dudes. He's not there yet, but he's up next in terms of the young killers coming up at. And I know he's not super young himself, but just in terms of
he's like 29 or something like that.
Right. But just like right in the prime of his career, and just fresh blood at 170 as well. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be a problem. Bernard is.
Yeah. Okay, and then we got one that I guess is kind of interesting. One, kind of a
The
measuring stick
rematch?
to see where both fighters are at. Are you ready to throw out the two again? Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle Waterson Gomez, 2 added to UFC Vegas 79 on September 23rd. Thoughts on that?
2?
All right, there we go. Tim Means versus Andre Gallo,
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
favorite, September 23rd.
Hell
Thoughts on that?
yeah! Dude, did I not like call for this fight? I'm pretty sure it might not have been this fight exactly, but something like this, dude. Like, yes, both dudes a little bit older. I think Fialga, he might be like early 30s. I know Tim Means is 38, but both guys that they both go out there and bang. Not looking to climb the ranks at all. We're just trying to put on a good fight, and both guys are capable of that. That should be a banger of a fight. Hell yeah! Now that's a fight that I like both guys, and I'm excited to see. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
All right, September 23rd. Next one, we got another good one, dude. We got Elvis Brenner taking on Esteban Ribovics, dude. November 4th. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, after that last fight that Elvis Brenner had with. Yeah, in the fight of the year, still in my opinion right now, yeah, that dude will always have a fan in me. Win, lose or draw, and yeah, that and Esteban, I do remember him off the Contender Series as well. Yeah, he's he
hits hard, dude. He's from
yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Yeah, that stylistically, that's a really good fight. Them shoot the box guys, they rely on their chin, but. Man, I don't know if you want to try to rely on that with Ribovics across from you.
Yeah, man. We got Rodolfo Vieira returning against Armin Petrosian November 4th. What's your thoughts on that, dude? I don't know if I like that fight too much for Rodolfo Vieira, as a Rodolfo Vieira supporter. Tough fight.
Is it bad that I think, and it's not the way they look, but I think it's the name Petrosian and Petrosky. I get them mixed up all the time because I'm like, I forget which one is which just because I always end up mixing up the names of one another.
Luckily, I have a picture here for you, D-Rose.
Yeah, thank goodness. Because if it wasn't for that, I'd have been like, yeah, didn't he just fight?
Like 2 weeks ago?
yeah. So yeah, thank goodness for the picture. But yeah, I know Vieira's your boy, but yeah, as you said, that's a tough matchup for him, man.
Yeah. All right, dude. Look at this. Make sure you note the weight class. Michel Pereira versus Marc-Andre Barrios added to October 14th card middleweight bout. Looks like Michel Pereira getting punished. They're gonna make him go up to middleweight and fight Marc-Andre Powerbar Barrios.
Wow, that's interesting. I guess he might be able to do a few more than flips and stuff like that because he's able to have a little bit more freedom as far as not having such a draining weight cut. But yeah, that's pretty interesting to see them kind of get him to move on up to 185. Seeing that he's on a 4 or 5 fight win streak, and he had a chance to fight
Wonderful.
A good guy. Yeah, 170, or that's what I was going to say, Wonder Boy, at 170. Hell, he was going to be in the top 10 if he had won that. And now he's fighting Marc-Andre Barrios at 185. That's a hard dose of reality. Yeah, that's a hard dose of reality there, man.
Yeah, man. Another good one, dude. We got Angie Overkill Hill going to be taking on Denise Gomes, dude. November 4th. Tough fight for Angie, dude. She gets cracked a little bit.
Yeah, it is. And as we know, Denise Gomes can crack, but I swear every time I love Angela Hill. I cannot call a fight right of hers because every time I think she's going to win, she loses, and every time I think she's going to lose, she wins. So, gambling wise, I'm staying away from it.
Fair enough, dude. Don't care about that one. Here we go, dude. Kai Kara France is out against Manal Kep in September 9th pay-per-view UFC 293. But there was going to be a Contender Series fight last night, dude, where the dude just stepped up to fight Manal Cap on a few weeks' notice, dude. What's your thoughts on dude stepping up late notice, taking on Manal Cap, ranked fighter on a pay-per-view from the Contender Series that he planned on fighting.
I mean, sucks that Kai had to end up pulling out. I did think that it seemed like a quick turnaround from that Amir Albazi fight going into that fight because they kind of they were in I don't want to say a war, but they slugged it out pretty good. So I thought that was a pretty quick turnaround for him coming off 5 rounds. And, just unfortunate not to see him. And I think Manel Kape at this point, he's just like, fuck it, just give me anybody because he was supposed to fight Figueiredo. He was supposed to fight Kai. And, both those fights ended up falling out. At this point, I'm not the biggest Manel Kape fan, but got to feel bad for him that almost seems like he can't get an opponent to stay on.
Yeah, I can see why like a lot of people wouldn't want to fight him because he's a tricky style. He's got good jiu-jitsu, hard to take down, and just kind of taunts you the whole time. Yeah, good fight. I'm interested to see what this shoot the box guy with the blonde hair looks like when he comes in. Demolador is going to be huge up at 185. I would have to agree, dude, because he's for sure going to put on some size, right? He's got to put on some size if he's going to be fighting.
Yeah. I would have to imagine it. He was absolutely shredded at 170 to begin with. So, I think at 185, I just think you're just going to have more muscle mass from that point. I would imagine.
Speaking of Petrovsky, did you see his team stopped a man and got him arrested for being a weirdo around kids? I did not, but
whoa.
Good for him.
Nah, that's badass. No, I did not know that, but man, these MMA fighters being superheroes and shit. I know Derek Lewis had the one where he stopped the one dude from like stealing somebody's car, and Kevin Holland has had a couple of them where Kevin Holland's apparently your local neighborhood hero. Like just throw the bat signal in the sky, and here comes Kevin Holland. He's going to save you from any danger you're in. These stories are crazy.
Yeah, you gotta throw out the TB in the air and trailblazer the rest of you, dude. All right, dude.
Nah, be like that Doc Brawl video where the black dude have you seen the Alabama Doc Brawl video where the dude he throws up the hat right before they start like fighting? He just pulls off the hat, just turns to the side and just throws it up, and all of a sudden here comes Kevin Holland to save the day.
All right, dude. So with that being said, we got some fights for this weekend, early ones, dude. We got UFC Fight Night, Max Holloway taking on the Korean Zombie, dude. It's going to be on. I'm going to give you the East Coast time. It's going to be Saturday, August 26th at 5 a.m. East Coast is when the prelims start. So we do have an early card. And, it's going to be taking place at Singapore Indoor Stadium, obviously in Singapore. We've got 13 fights. I thought it was 12. So we got 13 fights headlined by Max Bless Holloway taking on the Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Jung. We got Anthony Lionheart Smith taking on Ryan Spann. 2, D-Rose, 2. We got Giga Chikadze taking on Alex Bruce Leroy Caceres. We've got Renya Nakamura taking on Fernie Garcia. We got cold-blooded Aaron Blanchfield taking on Talia Santos. We got the little brother, Junior Tafa, taking on Porker Porter. The Porker. We got Waldo Cortez Acosta going to be taking on Lucas Dretsky. We got Tashomi Kazama taking on Garrett Armfield. We got Chidi Bang Bang Injaquani taking on Mikhail Lord Olashejek. We got Song Kanan taking on Rolando Bedoya. I'm interested in that fight. We got Yakuzu Kinoshita taking on Billy Goff. We got, dude, if you don't know Na Liang, get ready for this weekend. She's going to be taking on JJ Aldrich. And then the opening fight on the card, we've got Sung Woo Choi taking on Jarno Aarons, D-Rose. 13 fights, a lot of Asian talent on the card. Some sleeper fights, in my opinion. I got some very strong picks already this week, dude. But you want to start off, or actually, how about this? Give me your thoughts on the card overall.
Obviously, playing to the Asian market, just in terms of all the fighters that are on there. It should be a decent card. I do like the Tyler Santos and Aaron Blanchfield matchup. Good to see Giga Chikadze back in action, and always good to see Max, and always good to see Zombie as well. So I think the main card is got a few bangers on there, and even Junior Tafa, seeing him on here. Sung Woo Choi, he's put on some fun fights in the past. So I do think in terms of overall, and Chitty and Jaquardi too. I mean, should be a pretty decent card.
Indeed. I feel bad for you, Austin, but truly, brother, if I was you, I would maybe take a midday nap, 6, 7 o'clock. Get you a couple hours in, and dude, because you're Silent Six asking what time you start, 2 a.m. Dude, your prelim start at 2 a.m. That ain't the worst in the world. Staying up a little bit. For me, it's getting up, dude. I have the worst time in the world waking up in the mornings. I'm just not a morning person at all. I'm much more. I cannot go to sleep at night. That's me. Main card 5 a.m. Yeah. Damn, that's rough. That's the time for us usually when they have cards in England. So yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Let me share this and then we'll get it cracking, dude. Great on the card overall, though.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to give it a grade, I mean, B minus. Right. I don't want to be too harsh. I don't think quite a B. I'd say C plus B minus territory.
Not the worst card this year. Not the worst card this year.
No, definitely not. Like I said,
that was when we that was when we were forced to watch Jamie Pickett versus Josh Frim.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's definitely fights on here that coming away. Are you coming away after looking at the card? There's matchups on the card that I'm interested in for sure.
Oh, real quick before we get into this, D-Rose, did you see where Chitara Myra Bueno Silva popped for banned substance, and then her and Juliana going at it? She's been calling her Chitara all week.
No, I did not. That's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, so she choked a Holly Holm, but popped for banned substance. So
Yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah,
cheater.
But here we go, Chitara. Anyway, we got Sung Sting Woo Choi going to be taking on Jarno Aarons, dude. And I don't think Jarno Aarons is good, but that's just me. But I mean, Sung Woo Choi on a 3-fight losing streak, 10-6 overall. Jarno Aarons 13-4 overall. Haven't seen him though. And come on, you thing. In about a year though, where he did lose to William Gomi via decision, which isn't good either. We got Sung Woo Choi, a minus 200 favorite. Jarno Aarons, plus 165 dog. Sung Woo Choi is 30 years old, 6 foot, 74-inch reach. And, man, Jarno Aarons, 28 years old, 5'11", and a 73-inch reach. I guess I'll break it down, D-Rose. I mean, Sung Woo Choi, in his last fight, was it Mike Trezano? Yeah. This was one of the funnest fights I've ever seen, dude. They were, knocking each other down, at the same time and shit, dude.
A double knockdown.
I love when, stuff like that happens. Just crazy moments. But I think he's got a pretty good chin for the most part. He's a much cleaner striker than Jarno Aarons. But really, I think I just maybe don't remember Jarno Aarons to the T. Maybe before I make any heavy bets this weekend, I should go back and watch what happens to Jarno Aarons in his fights. But I'm going to go Sung Woo Choi winning this fight via decision this week. D-Rose, which way are you going, brother?
Yeah, this one's a little bit of a tough one to call. I think the only thing, I know Jarno is coming off that loss against William Gomes, but I do think that you can make the argument that maybe William Gomes is a little bit better than what I tend to give him credit for. I know he's got the win against Francis Marshall as well, so he's been able to kind of beat guys who maybe we would say that he shouldn't be able to beat. I think Sung Woo Choi, he's a great boxer. He's got some pretty good kicks, but he's got hella power in his hands. He can put some people down, but I think his problem is he gets hit a little too much, and his takedown defense is not that great at all. If I'm being honest, and I'm not going to go crazy in terms of betting this card, but I do think in terms of potential pig champ, if this is on the line, hey, I think I'd like to see Jarno here as the underdog. I think there's money to be had on him. I think Sung Woo Choi leaves himself open a lot, whether it be for the takedown or getting punched in the face. And I think he could potentially end up losing the fight because of it. So give me Jarno Aarons.
All right, first different pick of the day. D Rose going Jarno Aaron's. I am sticking on Sung Woo Choi though. Austin saying I don't know that Adderall is really that much of an advantage in sports. I hope Myra doesn't get penalized too harshly, assuming it was legitimately prescribed to her. From no experience, brother, I've never done Adderall, but I do know from a lot of other people in my life that have done Adderall, and if you don't really need it and you take it, it's what I've been told is it makes you really focused. So to think that that wouldn't give you an advantage inside octagon being super focused, I feel like it probably would. I do know that Kevin Lee got popped for the same thing before he got cut from the UFC the first time though as well. And Jarno looks like he got caught up to the UFC while on Van's Warp Store. All right. So next fight, D Rose. I see you checking it out to see what's happening. I'm glad you had. I should have let you start off, but we've got the Dragon Girl, Na Liang, going to be taking on JJ Aldrich. The Dragon Girl, Na Liang, is 19-6 overall. She has lost her last two first fights in the UFC against Silvana Gomez Juarez via knockout, and then against Ariana Carnelosi via knockout as well. JJ Aldrich is 11-6 overall. Also lost her last two. Ariana Lipsky via decision, and Erin Blanchfield via guillotine. Dude, I think she may have been winning that fight until she got put in a standing guillotine, though, which is super odd. Anyway, we got Na Liang, 27 years old, 5'5" and 67-inch reach. JJ Aldrich is 30 years old, 5'5", and also a 67.5-inch reach. D Rose, I guess break it down unless you don't know what's happening, and then I have no problem here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I ain't got too much of what's going on here, but I mean I can go just in terms of if you want me to pick first, because I'll just get it out the way. Yeah, I'm going to JJ Aldrich here. Just unfamiliarity with Na Liang, Liang Nang. I don't know which way it is, but yeah, just seeing that her coming off of her two performances in the UFC, both of them getting knocked out so far. Now against Gomez Juarez, was that down at 115?
They were both down at 115.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I do know that was down at 115. I do remember Juarez Gomez flatlining her with like a big overhand right. So not to say that JJ Aldrich has that kind of power, but I do think just in terms of just a UFC experience, fighting higher level competition, I think that's something that's going to bode well for her. And I think she can potentially grind out now here. So let's go JJ Aldrich.
All right, fair enough. D Rose. Let me give you a little insight on the Dragon Girl real quick. So we all know Daniel Da Silva, Santos, Lacerda, whatever his name is, right? He's got about under a round of gas in him, right? But for that 4 minutes, dude, it is absolute hell, yes?
Yeah.
That is Na Liang Na as a female fighter, dude. She's got power, dude. She throws everything early, and if she don't get you out of there, she's done. She packs it up. She's ready to go home. So, dude, my play for this fight specifically is it not to go the distance or just under 2.5 if you're able to get that. Dude, truly, Na Liang is so fun for that 3.5 to 4 minutes, dude. Strictly just putting it on the line this week, dude. I'm going Liang Na as I think she's like a plus 400 dog. Yeah, plus 430 dog. Give me Na Liang.
I'm definitely not betting
out JJ Aldrich early in round one. And I appreciate it, Silent Six. Don't forget to drop a fat like on the stream. I appreciate you, Silent Six.
Yes, sir.
I don't ever ask. So we appreciate you, brother.
Somebody's got to.
And then these lines are kind of dumb. Na Liang could still get the knockout super early as she has no gas tank, and I think either one of these girls are great. Yeah, and that's exactly how it looks like. Plus 430 dog, dude. And I'm interested when props open, dude. I cannot imagine what Na Liang round 1 is going to be. If it's like plus 1,000, dude, it's got to be like plus 1,000 because she's a plus 430 dog. For her to win in the first round has to be at least double that, right?
I mean, yeah, I would say at least, yeah, plus 700, plus 800, somewhere
Dude,
within that range.
I
Because,
will be making
well,
it
because I
possible.
mean, would you say that by knockout would be the likeliest way she would win? Because if so, I would say maybe plus. If she's plus four something right now, I'd say maybe plus 600, plus 700
Yeah.
for knockout.
Nah, Lily had to be dragged back to her stool between rounds because she was totally gassed. Exactly. And I think that was the same fight that Song Yadong just like she didn't have enough cornermen, so Song Yadong like stepped out to like out of the crowd to be her like cornerman for the fight too. Like in that fight. It was absolutely nuts. It is crazy. But yeah, give me strong play this week. I'm going to put probably like $5 on it. Give me Na Liang round 1 finish. So we will have our second different pick this week. D-Row is going to have a strong chance to get the pick champ back this week. So
Yeah.
moving on up, we've got uh, Yakasu Kinoshita going to be taking on Billy Golf. So let me actually make sure we got it. I show y'all it this time before I'm telling y'all what it is, and y'all don't even see it. Find your exclusive shops. Get out of here, loser. We got Kinoshita is 6-2 overall. One, 3 of his last 5, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Billy Golf is 8-2 overall. Won all 5 of his last 5. Kinoshita is a minus 150 favorite. Billy Golf plus 125 dog. Kinoshita, 23 years old, 6 foot in a 71-inch reach. Billy Golf is 25 years old, 5'10", 72-inch reach. And Kinoshita in his last fight got beat by Adam Fugit in his UFC debut, and his only other loss is against disqualification in the fight that he was stomping the dude's head like into the ground, but he got disqualified for grabbing the cage while stomping the dude's head into the ground. So before his UFC, dude, he was basically undefeated. But D-Rose, I'm gonna let you break it down. Go for it.
Well,
Actually, is it my turn? Because
yeah, I was
wait,
about to say, I
okay, yeah,
kind of,
my turn.
yeah.
Yeah. So in his last fight versus Adam Fugit, dude, I've noticed that Kinoshita hits hard early. I see a lot of other people on in this space calling him the Asian Conor McGregor. I don't know. He's kind of big. He's not. I don't know. I think that's a strong comparison in my opinion. But Billy Golf, I have looked up just a little bit, dude. I actually did some research this week. I'm ready to win some money back, dude. I haven't won anything big in about a month now, so it's time to win some money back on one of these sketchy ass cards that not a lot of people are going to be tuning into. So here I go, dude. Billy Golf gets dropped a lot, dude. I think he's gotten dropped in pretty much every single one of his fights, but he ends up being tough enough to come back later on in the fight and end up getting the finish himself for the most part. I just don't know if a dude that hits this hard up at 170, if you're going to be able to take his punches and then continue to walk forward, dude. I'm going to go with the slight favorite this week, Kinoshita, to get the knockout probably early this week, man. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I think you pretty much summed it up. I do agree that Kinoshita coming off that Fugit fight, he was hitting, Fugit pretty hard, and I do remember Fugit going for the takedown, and trying to go for a lot of grappling exchanges just because he was getting lit up a little bit. So I do think in terms of power, because I just can't. I'm having a hard time recalling much of Billy Golf right now, but let's go. Let's go Kinoshita here. I ain't even going to waste any time on it.
Well, I mean, he fought on the Contender Series a year ago, so that's probably why you don't know who he is.
Yeah. It's a lot of those guys, and understandably, they might end up taking time off to build themselves up, but and also playing for the Asian market as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing to keep in mind. When are these fighters traveling, dude? I know a few of these dudes like didn't get there until yesterday, dude.
Damn.
You're going to Singapore a few days before the fight, dude. Like, good luck, dude. Oh man,
Yeah.
you got the one that I want to talk about, but hey, I'll let you talk about it. We got Song Kanon versus Rolando Bedoya, dude. The assassin Song Kanon taking on the machine Rolando Bedoya. Song Kanon 19-7. Lost 3 of his last 5. Rolando Bedoya is 14-2. Made his UFC debut last fight against Chaos Williams, dude. You remember that fight, dude? He lost by a
Yeah. Split decision.
Like me and you were like,
We were heavy
bro,
on Chaos.
making your UFC debut against Chaos Williams is not smart, dude. And I think this is one where a lot of people are valuing this guy really high off of losing to Chaos Williams. But hey, Sankanon plus 225 dog. Rolando Bedoya minus 275 favorite. Sankanon 33 years old, although could be older. 6 foot, 71-inch reach. Rolando Bedoya 26 years old, 5'11", and 75-inch reach. Break it down, D Rose.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty interesting fight. I didn't even realize this fight until you would I'm reading down, I didn't hear it, but now I guess kind of seeing the names matched up. Yeah, Rolando Bedoya, I do remember him from the Chaos William fight, and he did end up kind of putting on a better performance than I think people thought he would.
Dude,
I think defensive
Singapore on Monday, and I'm pretty sure Max is already there. Dude.
Damn. Yeah, that's rough, man. But no, I think Bedoya, he looked really good in that Chaos fight. I do think people are going to highly praise him just because people expect him to kind of get flatlined. But he gave Chaos some problems in that fight, and I think Song Kanon, this is kind of the first time he's been a little active in a little bit. I think after that Max Griffin loss that he had, he had a lot of time off. I think he had 2 years in between that and that Ian Gary fight. So, but I think that. I think Song Kanon, I think he just leaves himself, he just ends up getting hit a little too much in his fights. He does go in there and go for it. I will give him credit for that. But it does seem like he ends up just one way or another ends up getting clipped and hurt. I'm not going to say that Bedoya has that type of power. And maybe he could because I know he landed pretty good on Chaos a couple of times. I think Chaos is just an absolute machine. I just don't think there's any way you can hurt that dude. But I do think that Bedoya should be the favorite here. Maybe a little round 3 or decision with Rolando Bedoya here, but I do think Bedoya gets the job done.
Yeah. In short, I feel basically the same way, dude. One thing that stood out to me, dude, did you know Song Kanon fought Izzy up at 185?
No, I did not. That's crazy.
Yeah, Song Kanon fought Izzy up at 185, but. Dude, one thing that stood out to me the most was in Rolando Bedoya's last fight, dude. I watched it the other day. Dude, Chaos Williams is cracking him with his most powerful shot, and Rolando Bedoya is smiling back at him, dude. He's like, yep, I just now ate that. Dude, Rolando Bedoya's got a fucking chin on him, dude. Maybe one of those Drew Dober chins that, it's only going to be an amount of time until it gets cracked and we see it broken. I don't see it here, though. I think Rolando Bedoya just puts pressure on Song Kanon all 3 rounds, maybe, like you said, 3rd round finish, but decision is also super likely as well. Rolando Bedoya is the way I am going, and I think that is our second one that we are the same on, D Rose, or is that?
Yep. Second in a row.
Yeah, so, dude, another banger here. I'm actually glad that you get to break this down because I know you're a fan of both of these guys for the most part. So I'm actually glad you can.
Well, this one it's served. I mean, I can break it down if you'd like for me to, but this one's actually you're up next.
I forget, brother. I'll let you do it because I know you're a fan of both these guys. But we got Chidi Njokuani taking on Mikhail Hussein Olasejek or Lord Mikhail Olasejek and Bang Bang Chidi Njokuani. Chidi is 22-9, lost his last 2. Lord Mikhail is 18-6. Chidi is a plus 100 dog, dude. Mikhail is minus 120 favorite. Chidi Njokuani, 34 years old, 6'3", 80-inch reach. Mikhail Olasejek, 28 years old, 185. Could go down to 170 though, in my opinion. 6 foot and 74-inch reach. D Rose, break it down.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at them just in terms of like their reach and stuff like that, and it's just just crazy to see just how much bigger Chitty is compared to uh and Ola Chaychek, man, he used to fight at 205. Like that's
I know.
absolutely nuts. And there was a couple like, dude, he was knocking dudes out at 205. Like he was win one, lose one at 205, but he like most of his wins, he was knocking dudes out. Like that is just absolutely nuts to think. But he's absolutely Ola Chaychek is absolutely nasty with the body shots. He's got not the cleanest boxing, but just absolute, just forward pressure, just in your face. He kind of reminds me of like Joanna a little bit with his style, but that he has like a lot more power and is willing to go in there and just leave it all out there to go get the finish. And I think Shady and Kawani, that dude just got absolute just bricks in his hands. He's good with knees. He's really good with that Muay Thai clinch. He'll throw nasty elbows and knees in the clinch. Knees to the body, slice you up with them bows. Man, I think this is a really interesting matchup, and I think the biggest thing that is going to come down to is Michelle Olachechek. He can use his wrestling. I don't know if he actually goes to it enough. I do think, even though I did think that Chidi Njokuani won that fight against Albert Duraev, a part of why he ended up losing that fight there towards the end was he was stuffing the takedowns there for a little bit, but in the first and in the second round a lot, there were just times where he ended up losing position on the ground, and Albert Duraev was able to ride out those rounds. I think Chitty did a better job of stuffing the takedowns in the third round and was able to put a lot of pressure back on Albert Duraev here. But man, I think tough matchup here, man. Give me the dog. I like Chitty. I like the frame. I think Ola Chaychek, I do think his pressure can be a little bit of an issue, but I think it can also set him up for some danger as well, man. Chitty is also a sniper as well. And maybe not to the same extent as Sean O'Malley, but the Chitty's a sniper, and man, there's not too many dudes who can take a clean shot from him and keep moving. And I think him going 3 rounds with Duraev in his last fight gives me a little bit of confidence to say that if this ends up going later into the fight, that I think Chitty can get it done as well. But let's go, Chitty.
All right. I'm about the same with you. If there's one person that I could compare Chitty's style to that I feel like is a little bit more well known, or maybe not more well known, relatively on the same level, just a little bit bigger, it's Carlos Ulberg, dude. I think they fight relatively the same way. They both had that distance to them, and they both have rocks for hands, dude. Like as you said, they both have power. And I'm a fan, just like you, of Chitty's knees, dude. And I think if Mikhail starts maybe trying to put Chidi on his back early, he might eat a knee like Robocop did. And as you said, Chidi a black belt, dude. And, Mikhail been choked out, in his 2 losses. I think his 2 losses in the UFC. Has he been choked out both times? I know he got choked out by Kaio last, but Dustin Jacoby via decision he lost. But I can only see his last 5. But yeah, dude. Mikhail doesn't have the best jiu-jitsu, so I'm on your side, D-Rose. Give me the dog, Chidi and Jaquani, and it wouldn't surprise me if he subbed Mikhail this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it finish either way. I do think Mikhail leaves his head open a lot, man. And as I said, you keep taking shots from Chitty like that. It's not too many people who live to tell the tale.
All right, so up next, we've got Tashomi Kazama taking on Garrett Armfield, and I'm going to be completely honest with y'all this week. I don't know anything about either one of these guys, so I'm going to read it to you. 10-3 for Tashomi Kazama,
Sorry.
and we got Garrett Armfield 8-3. Kazami plus 140 dog. Garrett Armfield minus 165 favorite. Kazama is 26 years old, 5'7", 69-inch reach. Garrett Armfield does train at Killcliff FC, I see. And then 26 years old, 5'6", and a 70-inch reach. This is going to be one for me. I just kind of sat back and see what happens. This is obviously set up for Kazama, being the Asian market, the silent finisher, if you will. So almost the Vicente Luque. But I'm going to see what happens. I guess I'm going to pick Armfield as probably the only outsider American winning on this card for the most part against the Asian contender. But I just kind of want to see what happens. D-Rose, which way are you going?
Yeah, same. Let's go Garrett Armfield. I don't even want to waste too much time on it because, as you said, I don't know either thing about either fighter, so I'm not even going to sit here and bullshit and act like I do.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to y'all. If I don't know anything about the fight, I'm not going to sit here and just feed y'all a bunch of bullshit because it's just one that I'm just not interested in, or I really don't care about too much. I just kind of want to sit back and see what happens for the most part. On this one, on the other hand, I do have some feelings about. We got Waldo Cortez Acosta taking on Lucas Dretsky. We got Salsa Boy Waldo Cortez Acosta, 9-1, was undefeated until he last fought Marcos Rogerio de Lima, dude. He's a minus 290 favorite, going to be taking on Lucas Brzezinski, the Bull, if you will, 8-3-1 overall. Lost a decision to Carl Williams that just took him down over and over and over again. And then Martin Boudet split decision that, in my opinion, he won. But Salsa Boy minus 290 favorite. Brzezinski Dretsky 235 dog. Costa is 31 years old, 6'4", 78-inch reach, and he does not train anywhere apparently. And the Bull Dretsky is 31 years old, 6'4" as well, and a 78-inch reach with a little bit of change on the end, making him have a little bit bigger reach than Salsa Boy. D-Rose, I'm going to take this one, dude. Dude, I think if you are getting taken down and held down all 3 rounds by pays out, dude, that is not good, dude. If anyone has any sort of wrestling, they should be able to take you down. I just don't know if Lucas is going to do it, dude. I'm going to pick him to win as the dog this week, a plus 235 dog. He has a path to victory. He also has good leg kicks, and Waldo just eats leg kicks and doesn't check them at all. So give me the dog this week, plus 235 dog and Lucas Dretsky to get the dub over Salsa Boy. D-Rose, which way are you going?
Man, actually, he went where I was going as well. I was actually leaning the same way and I actually had a lot of the same logic. I just think that, I think, Cortez Acosta, I just think the way he fights, I know you just kind of made the joke that he doesn't train anywhere, but he almost kind of fights it. But dude, he pretty much he almost kind of fights like it. Like he's pretty much he almost kind of fights like it. Like he's just this jab, maybe some clinches. He doesn't really have great takedowns. He's almost like as if like you have like this creative fighter in UFC and you started playing creative fighter to kind of build your character up, and then you got about like 2 levels in and you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like that's how I feel like Waldo Cortez Acosta is. Like I just feel like he's almost just not as fully developed yet. Not to say Lucas Dretsky is, but I do think in terms of just the people that he's fought, as you said, gave Martin Boudet a tough fight. I think Dretsky has a chance here. He is going to be a little undersized, so or normally he comes in a little bit lighter. Casa Cortez is like right there at the line, but of 265. But I think Dretsky can get it done as well. So I thought you was going to go Casa there because I remember going pays out last time, but yeah, I was thinking Dretsky as well.
All right, fair enough. Me and D-Rose both on the dog this week, and that is Lucas Dretsky. And did you know right now? I didn't know PFL was on, but I couldn't care less, to be honest.
I think Shane Burgos, is he fighting tonight?
I don't know. It says right now, the Black Dragon. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, we got Junior Tafa taking on Parker Porter or Porker, whichever one you want to call it. The Juggernaut, Junior Tafa. 4-1 overall. Coming taking on Parker Porter, 14-8, dude. Minus 130 favorite for Junior Tafa, dude. Plus 110 dog for Parker Porter. Junior Tafa, 26 years old, 6'3", 72-inch reach. But we got Parker Porter, 38 years old, 6 foot and 75-inch reach. D-Rose, break it down, dude.
This is interesting just in terms of Parker Porter. I know he's coming off that win against Braxton Smith, but also had the loss to Justin Tafa earlier in the year. So looks like he's trying to find some way to get revenge against the brother here for Junior Tafa. Yeah, I thought Braxton Smith Parker coming off that win against Braxton Smith. Yeah, he looked good in that fight, but I think, coming off of that fight, I mean, I think you could say that Braxton Smith's piss was fire in terms of how hot he pissed after that fight, and for all the stuff, all the bad supplements that he ended up testing for, and he was only one round anyway that he had in him. He might have had a minute and 30 seconds in him. Blew his wad. Parker took him down, grounding him out, easy win. I did think Junior Tafa, coming off that Mo Usman fight, I do think, just not as prepared for someone who's got a chin and can wrestle a little bit. So I think that's just something that Junior Tafa just has to, kind of see through as he kind of experiences more in the UFC. But just think Parker Porter, he just leaves his chin up and too much, just gets hit a lot, man. And I could see, honestly, a very similar knockout to how he ended up getting knocked out against Justin Tafa, just kind of leaping in, just getting a little bit sloppy. Junior Tafa maybe just kind of stepping back, or maybe just kind of charging forward, landing a big right hand and getting Parker out of there. So give me a Junior Tafa.
Fair enough, dude. I'm gonna go the other way in Parker Porter. I feel like
you're gonna go for Parker Porter against another Tafa.
Parker Porter's a little underrated. As the Rose is underrating him, dude. Junior Tafa isn't as bottom heavy as Justin Tafa is. He's a little bit slimmer of a guy, and dude, he looked like ass on the ground against Muhammad Usman, which, to be fair, is not. I would rate Parker Porter's ground game better than Muhammad Usman's ground game. And if that fat man sets on top of you, dude, and starts Donkey Konging you, you're not getting up, dude. If this fight gets to the ground at all and Parker Porter is on top, this fight is over, dude. Give me Parker Porter as the dog this week to defeat the little brother, Junior Tafa, dude. Could be wrong, wouldn't be the first time, and it sure as hell won't be the last. But what's Parker Porter plus 100 dog? It ain't a huge dog, dude. Me and you just now took a plus 235 dog, and you're questioning me about my plus 110 dog.
I'm questioning you because you already seen Parker Porter get knocked out by Tafa earlier in the year, and you had picked for Parker Porter. So I'm just surprised you're doing it again.
All right in that fight too before he got knocked out, though.
I mean, it might have been a 2-minute fight.
Yeah, whose turn is it? Mine or yours? I'm excited.
Yours.
Hell yeah, dude. Aaron Blanchfield taking on cold-blooded Aaron Blanchfield taking on Talia Santos. Aaron Blanchfield 11-1 overall. Only loss was to Tracy Cortez. Talia Santos 19-2 overall. Last loss was to Valentina Shevchenko over a year ago. Aaron Blanchfield minus 150 favorite, plus 125 dog for Talia Santos. Aaron Blanchfield 24 years old, 5'4" and 68-inch reach. Talia Santos 30 years old, 5'6" and a 68-inch reach as well. So they both got a 68-inch reach. And D-Rose, I'm sticking with my guns, dude. I do this every time. I never pick her to win. And I'm not picking her now. Dude, Talia Santos never been finished, by the way. So keep that in mind. And dude, she beat Valentina. I don't care what anyone says. I had her winning that Valentina Shevchenko fight. What I think swayed the judges was that headbutt that led to the cut, dude. It looked like it was really damaging in the fight, and it was the headbutt. But a lot of people, think it was a punch, or the judges think it was a punch, whatever. They could at least use UFC photo of Talia rather than her Zumba membership photo. but yeah, dude. As I said, Talia Santos never been finished. She is Brazilian, so she is born with a purple belt. She has jiu-jitsu in her mitochondria. They just have it, dude. She's got a good ground game. She's muscly, dude. She's got good striking. She's got clean striking. And I just said it, dude. I think she beat Valentina, dude. And I think she's a live dog this week, dude. To upset Aaron Blanchfield. This is only a 3-round fight, dude. So Aaron's got to do a lot to look like she's winning, dude, because just getting the takedown, I don't think it's going to be enough if Talia gets back up and hits her a few times. I don't think she finishes her. Either way, I don't think either one of these girls get finished in this 3-round fight. So I do think this goes to decision. But give me Talia Santos to win this fight via decision as the dog. D-Rose, which way are you going?
Yeah, I do think super interesting matchup. Tyler Santos, as we know, tough as nails, and like you said, coming off that loss against Valentina, uh, I do think she lost the Valentina fight, but I think the momentum of that fight shifted after that headbutt. And I know it wasn't intentional from Valentina, but it did seem like that Tyler Santos had a little bit of steam, and then once she had kind of received that headbutt, she had lost a lot of steam. You can see the fight change after that. Valentina went to a more kind of grappling heavy approach. And then just in terms of like the visible damage, even though Valentina wasn't implementing that damage, you just see the big old swelling on Tyler Santos from the headbutt, and you just end up kind of rolling it in favor of Valentina. But I do think that Aaron Blanchfield coming off that Andrade win. I mean, you can look at the fight now against Andrade and say, well, hey, that really wasn't a good win. But I remember going into that fight, myself and yourself were both like, hey, she's probably going to end up getting tuned up here. Big step up for Aaron Blanchfield being as young as she is. And man, she passed the test of flying colors. And I just think in terms of her wrestling, I just think it's just next level, just in terms of just in the women's divisions, just having that type of control, especially at 125. I don't think you have anybody else like her. I think depending on how the matchup goes this weekend, you can make the argument that Blanchfield is almost kind of like a 125 Tatiana Suarez, maybe not as dominant with the submissions, and she's a little bit more greener as well, just in terms of she hasn't had as much UFC experience, but I do think that man, that wrestling is just hard to overcome. I think Tyler Santos in certain positions in that Valentina fight, she was content in some of those positions on the ground, just so she could keep it safe, just so that way she wouldn't get submitted or anything. I think that could be ways that you would see Aaron Blanchfield is kind of slowly grinding out these rounds, and I think Aaron Blanchfield gets a win here. So give me Aaron Blanchfield. I think, like you said, I don't think maybe by finish. I think maybe by decision. But yeah, I think Aaron Blanchfield gets it done here.
Bob going Blanchfield by ground and pound. Fair enough. But once again, Talia Santos never been finished. I mean, it's not going to be the easiest thing. D Rose, once again, brother, I am a little bit jealous of you, man, getting to break down this one. So we've got Rinya Nakamura the hybrid Rinya Nakamura taking on Fernie Garcia. Rinya Nakamura 7-0, Fernie Garcia 10-3. Rinya Nakamura minus 700 favorite. Plus 500 dog for Fernie Garcia. 28 years old for Rinya, 5'7" and a 68-inch reach. Fernie Garcia is 31 years old, 5'7", 67-inch reach as well, and never been finished. Keep that in mind. Fernie Garcia, never been finished. All right. D-Rose, break it down.
Yeah, I do remember Nakamura coming into the UFC with a bunch of hype, and yeah, he I think what was that first knockout, like 30-some seconds into the fight. Yeah. So
just real quick, there's not many fighters that I compare to each other that I'm like, damn, dude, that might be spot on. But dude, this dude fights just like Ilia Topuria. He's just forward, pressure, power, good fucking luck absorbing this dude's shots. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like that, or something like a Song Yadong kind of, just in terms of this forward pressure, this absolute hammers in their hands, and they're just coming out there to crush you. And I think, I'm not as familiar with Fernie Garcia. I know he's never been finished before, but yeah, you stand in front of Nakamura with those bonds that he's got, man. I think that's just, it's only going to set you up for danger. The dude's super explosive, really fast. I mean, he's going to have not a huge reach advantage, but a little bit of a reach. I think in terms of he'll be the better athlete, Nakamura will be, and yeah, I think you can see another knockout as well. So give me Rinya Nakamura.
The strong. You won't hear it anywhere else this week. Rinya Nakamura via knockout. That's the way we're going. Me and Rose on Rinya Nakamura. This is just one of those. This is just cruel to Fernie. He's going to get abused for the most part, dude. And dude, flying from Mexico to Singapore, dude, that's just can't be the funnest thing in the world. Me and D-Rose both on Rinya Nakamura this week. The Japanese Ilia Topuria, if you will. Another interesting one, dude. Yuki Chikadze taking on Bruce Leroy. Alex Caceres And D-Rose, I'm a fan of both of these guys. So, tough fight for me to call, but I think I have my pick. We got Giga Ninja Chikadze taking on Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres. We got 14-3 for Giga Chikadze. Last loss was Calvin Cater a year and a half ago. Bruce Leroy is 21-13 at all. Last fight was Daniel Pineda, where he did win via decision, which surprised me. I didn't expect that to go to decision, but we got minus 225 favorite for Giga Chikadze with hair and plus 185 dog for Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres. 35 years old and 1 day for Giga Chikadze, 6 foot and 74-inch reach. And then for Bruce Leroy, also 35 years old, 5'10" and 73-inch reach. D-Rose, as you know, I'm a fan of both of these guys here. I tend to pick them when they fight. We haven't seen Giga in a while, and I can only assume that he's made improvements everywhere in the year that he's been gone, dude, because I just feel like his ground game was pretty much struggling. I know Bruce Leroy, I don't think he's ever been knocked out, or if he has, it was a while ago. But, dude, I think when people talk about knockouts, they only talk about head kick, hook to the head, dude. People are forgetting about what Giga's specialty was, which was his Giga kick, that kick to the body, dude. And I don't think you can train for that. You get hit in the liver, you fall down, and your body turns off, dude. Give me Giga Chikadze to come back this week with a Giga kick, make his return, and finish Bruce Leroy with the Giga kick. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I think Giga, man. I do think that he's going to be. I think he's going to be the quicker guy, the more explosive. Alex Caceres, he's put a little bit more of an evolution into his game over his last few fights. And as you see, 4 of his last 5 are wins. So it's not like, he hasn't been putting it all together, getting knockouts, getting submissions. He's been doing a lot better in terms of going for the finish. But I do think that, just explosively, Giga's, as you said, his kicks, punches. I just think he's going to be a little bit sharper. And as long as he's able to keep it on the outside, Caceres doesn't get inside with the clinch and wrestling and make it a little bit nasty. I think Giga should be able to win it pretty cleanly. Caceres is tough as nails. So if I was to bet Giga by finish, I would say maybe like a third round or decision. But yeah, I think Giga should be able to get it done here.
All right, me and D-Rose both on the favorite this week, Giga Chikadze. Moving on up, dude, co-main event, and I'm glad you get to break it down because, once again, 2 of your favorites in the second fight. You ready for the 2, D-Rose? Here we go. We've got Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann 2, the Superman versus the Lionheart. 36-18 for Anthony Smith. Lost his last 2. 21-8 for Ryan Spann. Lost his last 1, but overall 3-5 in his last 5 for both fighters. Plus 120 dog for Anthony Smith. Minus 140 favorite for Ryan Spann. We've got 35 years old for Anthony Smith, 6'4", 76-inch reach. And for Ryan Spann, 32 years old, 6'5", and 81-inch reach. D-Rose, break it down, brother.
2. No, 2. No, I do think that weird fight, but interesting fight. I think, just in terms of, I think this is really just a bar to see where each fighter are at right now. I mean, I think, Spann coming in off that Reyes fight, a lot of people were, getting behind him a little bit more to say, well, hey, maybe he's turning around. And then, in your favorite, the IQ Bowl between Spann and Nikita Krylov, Spann ended up doing Spann things and just, losing the fight just due to dumb decisions, man. That's why it's so hard to just feel comfortable betting anything with Ryan Spann. But I think the problem on the other end with Anthony Smith is he just had problem pulling the trigger in his last few fights. And in the Johnny Walker fight with Anthony Smith, Anthony Smith is literally yelling at Johnny Walker, trying to tell him, hey, you're breaking into my house and trying to hurt my family. And like, dude, you're literally having to try to motivate yourself by telling the dude that he's taking away from your family in front of you, but you're not doing anything about it. You're literally just standing there and telling him that, but you're not doing anything. I don't know if Anthony Smith is at a point where maybe he just can't pull the trigger because I know Masvidal said at the end of his career that he felt like that there were punches that he felt like he could have landed in the Gilbert Burns fight that he did not in that fight because the fast twitch muscle just wasn't there anymore and the quick reaction just wasn't there. Nothing was the same, and that's why he retired. I mean, I know Anthony Smith had some good fights before, but over his last couple of fights, in the Magomed fight and Johnny Walker fight has been a little bit concerning. Man, but for some reason, I just cannot get over the first time when Anthony Smith just beat the dog shit out of Ryan Spann.
And it was a year ago. It ain't, or almost 2 years ago. It ain't like it was 5
It was like,
years ago, dude.
Yeah, it was about a year and a half ago. I'd say it was about like 21 or so. But yes, it was
10 months exactly.
Yeah, dude. I actually remember winning some money off of Anthony Smith, dude. He was like a plus 200 underdog. I got him on double chance, but no, man. I think Anthony Smith, man. I can't get the vision out of my mind of Ryan Spann carrying him across the octagon, setting him down, and then Anthony Smith just turns around and just knocks the shit out of him for doing it, dude. And yeah, I think Anthony Smith can get it done here. So give me Anthony Smith.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. Anthony Smith's obviously got to be careful of the round one Spaniard, the one that's a little round one Spanish dude. Round one Ryan Spann, you got to watch out for, dude. He can knock anyone out, but at the same time, dude, we just saw it two years ago. Anthony Smith doesn't hurt anyone for the most part. He chokes people out, dude. And when you're knuckling up and having Ryan Spann or wobbling around the ring like a baby deer legs, it's like, dude, geez, you got hit by Anthony Smith. You didn't get hit by Jan Blachowicz, dude. Like, there's a big difference in that. So right. I can't see it going any different than what it went less than 2 years ago, dude. Give me Anthony Smith via finish, probably second round now. But dude, maybe Ryan Spann actually starts training now, because remember, like he said, this is the first fight I've ever trained for, or some shit like that. So if he was serious, dude, we might have a future champion on our hands, because dude is massive. But I guess we'll see, man. But until I am proven wrong, give me the recency bias of the last time that Anthony Smith won a fight, it was against Ryan Spann. So he knows how to do it. Give me Anthony Smith to win this fight. Me and D-Rose both on the slight 120 dog in Anthony Smith. And then
crazy to see all these random weird rematches, man. Just weird.
Two? Yeah, dude. So I am listen. We're all on the same page here, right? Let me share this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if we have to.
Sung Jung, Max Blessed Holloway, the Korean Zombie. All right, y'all. Max Holloway's a minus 800 favorite. I'm not gonna give you all the stats. We all know Max is going to win this fight. So I guess we'll just move to how we think he's going to win this fight. I truly see Max respecting Zombie enough, dude, to I think this looks a lot like the Brian Ortega fight. Like, he's maybe like not trying to finish him until it's a doctor stoppage for the most part. I see Max winning this fight 4-5 decision, something like that. I don't think, Max isn't a power puncher to begin with, so he's always been like a volume guy. So I think Max 4-5 a decision, probably a smart play this week. D-Rose, which way are you going here?
I couldn't have said it any better myself. I think the same thing. I think that I think Max, I think he's going to put it on Zombie, but I don't think he's going to. He knows it's a retirement fight, so I think he's going to have a lot of respect there to not humiliate Zombie. But I do think if he gets a finish, as you said exactly, 4-5 a decision. If you're betting on FanDuel, that would definitely be something that I would be looking at and towards the betting for Max Holloway. But yeah, should be able to get the win pretty easy here, I would say.
Solid 6. Am I the only one not really pumped for this fight and more concerned for Zombie? Yeah, I don't know. I guess. I mean,
it's dirty to see Zombie for this to be his retirement fight, and it's like, oh yeah, because you see Robbie Lawler in his retirement fight against Nico Price. A good matchup, not something that's going to be too overwhelming. You think Korean Zombie retirement fight, and you're like, oh yeah, let me get you the second best featherweight of all time, and Max Holloway. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw you to the meat grinder with Max. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think Zombie's last fight that was announced was against Ilya Taporia, so I like this a lot more than Ilya versus Zombie because I think Max respects Zombie enough as a martial artist, dude. It's just going to be an outclassing by Max, at least until the third round, dude. Until we see, maybe Max start putting some pressure on him. Maybe a cut happens, doctor stoppage, something like that. I just hope there's a corner doctor stoppage before Zombie actually turns into the Zombie. Yes, I think people's feelings are taking too much abuse to his career already. Max wins, but anytime you play boxing against the guy that knock you out is worth watching. Yeah, but I don't even think Max has ever even been dropped in the UFC. We got Albino Manatee in here. I agree, Silent, but I respect Zombie wanting to face the best of his best on his way out. And also, dude, they're actually in the same era, dude. They were fighting around the same time from the beginning. So the fight isn't I guess that's why I'm not as upset at it as a lot of other people are. Clearly Max is way better, but it's like they're guys from the same era, and I don't mind that. It's because Max asked for it. These two guys respect each other, so they just want to dance. Hell yeah. But yeah, D Rose. Anything else, man?
No, man. I think you pretty much I couldn't have said it much better than you said it, man.
All right. Well, in that case, let me look back at all of our picks. We got at least three different ones, right?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, so I know Tyler Santos, Aaron Blanchfield, that's one. Parker Porter Junior Tafa, that's another one. I believe is it Sungwoo Choi, Jarno Aarons? I believe that's one.
Or did you go for Mikhail?
Chitty. I think we both did Chitty.
Yeah, and then so the first two, and then I'm sure Lush has actually got us. Look at him. As soon as I pop back in here, I was like, I know Lush has got us. He's the absolute fucking man. You guys pick different on 4 different fights, D Rose. Here we go. Pick number 1 different is Choi versus Aarons. Pick number 2 different is Nali Yang, if you think of JJ Aldrich. Pick number 3, Tafa versus Porker. And number 4, Santos versus Blanchfield, D Rose. And I believe I have 3 large dogs this week, dude. So I'm gonna let you pick, dude, and let me know what you're taking, man.
Man, this is this one's a little tough
one for me to try to keep it this week, dude.
Yeah, it definitely is. Let's go Blanchfield, Santos. Let's go there. Let's go. Man, you really went Nallying, and let's
plus $400, dude. Yeah.
Nah, I'm not throwing that in there. Let's go Tafa, Parker Porter, and then let's go Aarons and Duho Choi, Sungwoo Choi.
Sungwoo Choi. All right, so the first fight of the night, and then we got Porker versus Tafa, and then we got Santos versus Blanchfield. That's our 3 different fights this week. D Rose going to have a chance to win back the weekly pick champ over here. And D Rose, we got to get something else, man. Like, we got to get like a winner and a loser hat that each of us wear the entire podcast. It's not.
I know that's what I'm. We got to do something like a. I don't know. Maybe we could throw it out to the boys for like suggestions as well. But I almost feel like it should be like, I don't know. The winner should have to take a shot of like a nasty drink or.
Well, hopefully not the winner.
Yeah, or no. The loser take a shot of like a nasty drink. The winner gets something. I don't know. I feel like there should be like a winner and a loser segment as far as the pick champ goes. And maybe we just round up the picks like after maybe like a month or so, and the pick champ for the month. Hey, it was so and so. Maybe we could do something like that, but we can still kind of brew on it.
Yeah. We got time to figure out. We ain't going nowhere. We're here every single Wednesday. Lushlow Man is absolutely the man that I'm pretty sure I just don't call him Lushlow Man because he's the man. Lushlow Man. Choi Aldrich Porter is the Choi, Aldridge, Porter, and Blanchfield for me. So looks like Dirty Reg 22 is split on mine and your picks. And then Em, raise your hand. Oh, my name's Matt, brother. D Rose is on the other side of your screen as my Sugar Sean O'Malley bobblehead gets popping there. Quick hit with the boys. All right. Yeah, there we go. I got Aaron, Aldridge, and Blanchfield. All right. So it looks like Bob completely on your side, dude. Loser sings a song of 30 seconds of the winner's choice. Possibly. I don't, that could be a little risky. Choi and Porter hits for me. Aldridge and Blanchfield hits for D. Possibly. Matt is on the right, D Rose on the left. Thanks, Bob, for helping us out. Blanchfield is great, but I just had to take Santos, dude. I'll think of something. All right, yeah, Lush Lemaine. He is creative. He will think of something for us. Okay, no problem. Thanks. First time watching, you guys. I will appreciate you stopping by, Dirty Reg. If you haven't already, hit a thumbs up button on this video and subscribe to the Golden Octagon MMA channel, because I'm here multiple times a week, whether it's talking about UFC fights, ripping open UFC cards, and then every single Wednesday, me and D Rose are here on the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast at 8:30 p.m. East Coast time. With that being said, we ain't gonna hold y'all up no more. We've been here an hour and 41 minutes talking about UFC Singapore. It's going to happen at 2 a.m. West Coast, 5 a.m. East Coast time. But yeah, it's going to be, if you're in America, you get to get a taste of what everyone feels like overseas. I'm going to be up. I'll probably head to bed early Friday night so I can be up Friday morning to be a degenerate and making some disgusting parlays that I hope are going to hit. Well, with that being said, we appreciate all of y'all for stopping by here today. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. Anything before we get out of here, man?
No, man, I think that's a good pod today. And we coming back for that pick champ, baby. Let's go.
All right. That being said, we'll catch y'all next week right back here, 8:30 p.m. East Coast time. But this has been the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast, and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
Good luck to y'all on the sports books.